The battle for second place in the CHE Men's Division 3 is about to get underway. It's the UPJ Ice Cats and the RMU Colonials. I'm Caden McCrory alongside me, Andrew Keel. Looking at both of these teams, both have had trouble with the number 1 seed, the Cal, but tonight the winner will leapfrog into second place permanently, at least until tomorrow, until they play different teams. But going down the stretch, this is a massive game in the CHE standings.
Yeah, it's definitely massive indeed. Tied for second place. Surprisingly ahead of St. Vincent, the champion last year, who fell to Cal U. Cal U now ranked in the CHE Division 3, so they're definitely going to be the team to beat this year. 23rd is where Cal sits, with just, I believe, 1 CHE loss so far. For UPJ, they'll go to their lone goaltender, Matt Page, 7-6 record, a 3.90 goals against, and an .880 save percentage. As for RMU, Andrew, who gets the nod? It'll be Gunnar Fulton, 3-1 with a 294 goals against and a 926 save percentage, and tied for RMU lead in points as a goalie with 2.
Were they real? I don't know.
Yes.
But they are on the ACHA website.
That is confirmed. And we might get to hear from the person he's tied with tomorrow.
That seems like the likely scenario.
That is 100% the scenario.
Okay, it is 100% the scenario. So the other one is mentioned, Brock Maraska will join me on the call versus the knock on wood Cleveland State game. I'm still not positive they exist.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't give you an answer on that.
But for RMU as well here, Andrew, a significant piece of the blue line is back. It's the senior Jack Jones. A huge get, both physically and on the ice. He's back in the lineup.
Assistant captain back for the Colonials. Definitely an important piece that they've been missing that they're getting back for this game.
John Betts is still out of the lineup, their captain. Wade Daniels will take the responsibility again tonight. Kyle Kloss will remain on that top unit with Ethan Bendekovic and Zach Blevins. Austin Patneski and Noah Long, the top pair, will man the D-line to start the game. And the as aforementioned Gunnar Fulton, the net. No Tucci anthem, so we will send it for the playing of the fake Jeff Jemerson. Oh, there's Tucci. Yes, he is. There he is. A little late, but he is here.
Tucci was here an hour early greeting fans.
Really?
He said he's a little early.
I mean, I told him 9 o'clock, so definitely early. But okay, no Jeff Jemerson, or at least the playing of Jeff Jemerson. John Tucci, take it away. Tucci anthem is complete. UPJ and RMU to their respective benches, goaltenders to the net, and we get ready for the battle for second place of UPJ and RMU. Caden Kazarowski leads the team in goals for the Ice Cats with 10, 3 of them being on the power play. Aiden Rice leading in points with 17. As for RMU, Zach Blevins, 15 points for his season. Alex Kasivi leading the way in goals in 7, including a couple on the power play. Bendekovic, the sophomore, will be the one to take the faceoff for the Colonials. Going up against the aforementioned Aiden Rice. Puck is down, and here we go. Blevins off the draw. Plays this one back to Long. Has a little trouble within the corner. He'll circle behind the net. Ice Cats waiting, will break it up. Gets across now. Colonials will sky this with center. Glove down by Bendekovic. Looked for Blevins. Taken away by the stick of a UPJ defender. Quickly back to Bendekovic. Offsides Colonials. And we'll have to touch up. Ice Cats working up ice. All over him is Kloss. The freshman out of Hershey turned over for Blevins in front. He'll take this behind the net. Banks it off the back of an Ice Cat. Blevins shot, save made there by Page. Ice Cats whack at it. They'll put this one all the way into the Colonial zone. Patneski getting back. Icing is waved off. Ice Cats will change. Patneski to Long with some pressure. Move it up ice. Now Bendekovic. Back to Patneski, quickly to Long. Sends this one off the wall for the waiting Justin Newton, who will send it in. Colonials can now change. Off the stick of Jackson Barberi into the Colonial zone. Colonials quickly pick it up and move it up ice, but could not get it out of the zone. All over them are the Colonials. Now Joey LaQuatra driving it. LaQuatra shot save made from Page coming out of the blue paint, and will get the whistle here at 18:34.
Great little chance there from LaQuatra, able to make his way on a basically 2-on-1, but the shot there maybe look a little lower, maybe getting a little pass-off pass to your guy in the slot, but great way to start the game for the Colonials.
Gavin Crivelli on the draw, wins it over to Newton. His shot ricochets around the boards, and Daniel Killen will get on his horse to race this down. Killen leaves it off for Adam Shorrilly. The Illies on the ice at the same time is something we've seen a lot here on the Olympic Ice Arena. Newton plays it into the zone by his lonesome. At the blue line, picked up by Crivelli. Plays it back to Killen. Chips it off the wall, puts it back in the Ice Cat zone, and they're quick to clear this one out. Storming up ice is Chase Huff. Loses it. They play it back to center. Barberi had some trouble with it. Goes across to his partner, and Owen Cerniglione turned it over, and now Kasivi pokes it into the UPJ momentarily. Quickly turned over. Adam Hooks plays it all the way down into the corner for Dom Della. Gets shook off by a Colonial defender. Kasivi will leave this one off. Shirilli up ice. Plays it off the high glass, and they'll go for a change. Behind the net, it'll be Barberi to pick it up. Kasivi all over him. Daniels looks for Kasivi in front, broken up. Here's Rose. In front, loose for Kasivi. He's digging away. It pops free. Tepsik at the point, keeps it alive. Sends it around the wall. Rose loses it. And Daniels now takes a hit on the UPJ forward. Rose keeps it in for the Colonials. Ice Cats will go D to D and send this one down ice. Della around Tepsik. They get taken into the wall. No calls either way. To the point, Richard Plowman's shot. Save made Fulton. He'll cover at 16:51. And then a little shoving after the whistle as Daniels gets taken down, and Jones will get mixed up. Something I think we're going to see a lot of is these after the whistle scrums.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with two top-tier teams in the CHE right now. They're both going to be fighting for sure. And there are penalties coming out of it.
It looks like RMU is going to head to the power play here. So out of that scuffle, Colonials will get the man advantage, something they've done fairly well on. Bendekovic, Kasivi, Long, Blevins, and Daniels. Bendekovic tied up the draw. Goes to Blevins, works this one up high to Daniels, takes the spot of John Betts on that power play unit. Shot from Long is blocked, puts it on, pad stop Page, bounces out to Huff, and here he comes up ice. Huff battling with Long, gets taken down, no call, and now Daniels will take his man to the wall, covered by Fulton, and whistled dead.
Bad break for the Colonials there as they give up a shorthanded, basically one-on-one, as the Colonials now have to attend with a defensive zone draw on the power play.
Penalty was for cross-checking. Still have a minute and 41 of power play time. A not-so-great 19 seconds to start. Long will reset behind the Colonial net. He'll leave this one off. Forward for Bendekovic. One touch through center. Ice Cats are there. And now we'll roll to Blevins. Puts it into the UPJ zone momentarily, cleared out off the stick of Kyle Repologel. And now behind the net, RMU looks to try once more. 50 seconds gone on the man advantage for the Colonials. Newton takes it from his own zone. Up for Blevins. Blevins taking it through the slot, looking for a lane, dangles one, puts one on net, goes through the blue paint, but Newton was tied up. Kasivi for Blevins. Over across in front for Kasivi, loose puck digging away. Kasivi will get to the far side, play it back to the point to Killen. Killen quickly down low to Kasivi. Whacks at this one, rolls to Bendekovic. Bendekovic to Kasivi down behind the net. Up high to Bendekovic, looking. Patiently holding on, rolls back to the point to Killen. Killen in front, lets it go through the skate of Kasivi. Couldn't get a stick on it. Ice Cats can clear.
Great little zone pressure there for the Colonials on that power play. 10 seconds to go, so got to be quick.
Quickly up to Newton, but couldn't settle the puck. Has some reinforcements in Vukman. Vukman storming in. Puts it on that kick save Page. Penalty expires. Patneski to Killen. Looking for the deflection of Lamago. And now almost a breakaway, but broken up by Killen. A chance for Huff. Shot, he scores. Chase Huff, 7th of the season, gets UPJ one out of the box. It's 1-0.
A quick one as he stayed behind the defense after coming out from the penalty, as Colonials thought they broke it up, but not enough. You got to keep your head on the swivel there.
Thought they were saved for a moment by Killen's stick, which is not enough. Into the draw comes Kazarowski against Vukman. Quick warning to the wingers, and now we can drop the puck. Kazarowski wins it forward. Tepsik to Jones. Plays it up. Lamago gets shaken off a hit. Here's Vukman to pick it up. Vukman in front for the stick of Newton. Caught underneath, and Ice Cat diving down. Tepsik looking, shot, sails wide of the net. Sent around the boards. Howell with his 7th, as Austin McLean in the box tells us. Behind the net now, picked up by UPJ. Will go D to D. With some space now, they'll carry up ice and send it into the Colonial zone. No ice. No, yes ice.
No.
Little late.
Little late there for sure. UPJ looked like they were also trying to saucer that right off the top of the stick of Jones to get a deflection there. Just barely reaches over his stick, and that's an icing.
RMU's had a lot of offensive zone draws tonight. But 6 minutes through this game have not capitalized. Here's Bendekovic to Kloss, to the point. Jones shot, save made, rebound is there, pops free, collected by Blevins. His shot looking across and broken up. Bendekovic picks it up at center for Blevins waiting at the blue line. Blevins gets lit up by Barberi. A huge hit there against the sophomore. Kloss puts one on net up high on Page. He'll corral it and make the save at 13:34.
Blevins getting absolutely drilled trying to enter the blue line. Tried to make a move around. Gets absolutely blown up for in the process. And the Ice Cap fans right beside him going crazy for that hit.
Offensive zone draw. The same unit will stay on. Blevins off the draw. Gets tied up along the corner. Kept alive by Killen at the blue line. We'll chip this one down low to Bendekovic. Attempts to get around one. Killen keeps it alive. Forward to Bendekovic. Drop past to Blevins. Up to Kloss. His shot broken up. Shirilli for Kloss. Couldn't get back to him, and now the other way comes Aiden Rice. Rice with some steam down the right wall. Puts one on. Save Fulton. Rebounds there in front. Stick could not get down of an Ice Cap. Behind the net, Ben Teddy looking. Does not have a man. Colonials look to chip it out. Fulton with a save off the boards. Calls for the fair catch at 12:50.
Rebound save off the boards. Not often you see that one. That bounce was going to go wait to the slot, but Fulton with that huge frame able to just reach up and grab it.
Fulton standing north of 6'3", His exact height kind of varies on who you ask, including Gunnar himself. But we've seen as tall as 6'5". Brozovic, out of the lineup tonight. He'll start tomorrow against IUP. Luke Zukowski is the backup. Has played in one game, and that was a victory over Case Western. No icing here on the Colonial dump-in. Taken down is Newton off the puck, nothing there. And now coming in is Colin Cooch. Cooch looks to dangle in, tied up with Pataneski. Pataneski wins the battle, and will play this forward. Crivelli off his back end, send this one in. Battling is Pataneski from his defensive position, leaves it off for Newton. Looking to go back to Pataneski. Now we'll roll to Joey LaQuattro. LaQuattro on his backhand, gets off one, puts one on net, through the blue paint, kept alive. Shot coming in, they'll score. Austin Pataneski's first of his RMU career, his first in the CHE, and we're all knotted up at one.
What a shot there from Pataneski. Page never saw it coming. Might have got tipped by a defender in front because he got really upset. But will go to Pataneski because no Colonial is claiming that, so the refs can't go back and rewatch it 30 times to see if it hit a stick in front, so they're going to give it to Pataneski, and he will get his first career goal.
The junior transfer, he's had a lot of opportunities this season and finally gets rewarded in one of the biggest games of the year. All knotted up at one, only 8 minutes gone in this first period. Pass broken up by Daniels off the attempt, and now getting back is Serlignione. Plays it behind. Sent forward now. Della around one, sends one out wide. Looks to put one on, save Fulton off the stick of Aaron Norkovicic. Tepsik for Rhodes. Daniels now settling in center, could not hold on to it. Della will play it back. To the point to Barberi. Barberi looking. Has a man down low. A little trouble with it was Della. Colonials play it out. Norkovicic sends this one in. Fulton will come out of his net to play it. Aaron Norkovicic, younger brother of Ian Norkovicic, or actually might be older brother, I'm not sure. They're definitely close in age. Ian Norkovicic, we've called him the Go League before. Very impressive player as well. Barberi goes D to D here. Serlignione sends it up. Norkovicic spins away. We'll send this one around the corner. Jones sends this one out. UPJ to recollect. All UPJ the last minute or so. Barberi gets tripped up. Continues his stride in. Vukman takes him down. That will be called. And UPJ will head to their first power play of the game.
They were looking strong for the last couple minutes after the Colonials scored. Colonials seemingly taking the gas off after scoring. And UPJ will get a power play now after being, in possession for quite a while.
12 power play goals this season for the Ice Cats. So very strong for them. Kazarowski has 3, Zach Zito has 3, Aiden Rice and Will Miller each have 2. But spreading the wealth along the way, UPJ is very good with that on this power play. Off the draw, here's the shot from Miller, pops out free, shot comes in, they'll score. Colin Cooch, his first of the season on the power play, just 5 seconds into it, it's 2-1 UPJ.
Caught Fulton down, was down way too early on that shot, and you leave the roof wide open for the score there.
Cooch last season had 1 power play goal, 7 goals on the season. A quiet start in the goal column, and gets an important one here in period 1.
One note, Zach Zito walked behind us towards the locker room, so don't know, looked like he was fine, so maybe an equipment issue for Zito.
Hopefully Zito's okay. The Franklin Regional alumni. Sends in here by Killen. Behind that for Newton, could not get there. Now Killen steps down, walks away, continues his stride here, leaves it off for Owen Newton. Newton looking in front, battling away is Barr continuing, still loose, battling away. Vukman couldn't get it in there, now pops free to Killen. Killen plays this one around the wall, shaking off the hitter Shirelli. Now Barr to Vukman. Gets stripped of the puck momentarily. Colonials repossess now. Newton gets taken down there from Colin Kutch. Kutch driving in. Drops pass off. Rice's shot. Save Fulton. Stays in play. Shirilli looks to get around one. Could not do so. Shot comes in. Save Fulton with 9:18 to go in period one. Last I checked, RMU D1 is down to IUP. Make that 4-2 now 5-2?
5-1.
5-1. That's a 1. Okay, I misread that. But 5-1 IUP
With
right
9
now.
seconds left
In the game?
in the second.
Oh, okay. 5-1 IUP D1 over RMU as they'll head to the second intermission. A big game for them as they'll battle John Carroll tomorrow with the top 2 seeded teams in D1 at the moment. So a very rough weekend for the D1 Colonials. Kept alive with a diving effort from Vandekovic. Picked up now is Kazarowski. Dangles one, works his way in, takes it to the backhand, behind the net. Looking in front, broken up by the Colonials. As continuing the drive there was Adam Hooks. Pick up now. Looking for the Michigan, could not do so. Comes out to Kazarowski. And denied by Fulton. Shot from the point. Fulton's there. Whistle dead, 8.5 to go.
I said it earlier, but it's definitely feeling for sure. Colonials taking their foot off of the gas after scoring that goal from Pat Neske. I haven't seen them on this side of the ice since then.
It's been, what, 3 minutes now?
Close to it.
Yeah. Kervilli's unit hops onto the ice with Jones and Tepsic behind him. Tepsic to pick it up. Sends it off his backhand, off the top of the glass. Gives the Colonials a little bit of a break. LaQuatra at center. Stripped by Norkovic momentarily, now continuing in. Rolls the Colonial way, Newton. Off the wall, Crivelli. Can't get around his man. Now UPJ turns it over. Justin Newton puts one on. Save made Page. In front for LaQuatra. Bouncing puck. Settled by Matt Page. And the Colonials will get their first offensive zone face-off in quite some time.
There might be a penalty here.
Looks
There is.
so.
I saw the ref's hand go up and signal to the box. Didn't see the penalty. So the Colonials are going to get a power play here to maybe cut this lead back down. Cut this lead off.
Jackson Barberi will sit. I've been looking for a hand signal of what call it could be. I have not seen one. From our angle, we get blocked a lot by players on the ice.
Yeah.
So he probably did one, we just couldn't see it. But Colonials will head to power play number 2 of the game. Vandekovic off the draw for Blevins. Stutter steps, takes it down low himself, looking for room, puts one on. Save Page as he babbled that one, but will cover it up. Quickly back to the same circle. Giving directions is Hooks off the draw. Vandekovic wins it back to Blevins. Blevins across, had a chance for Daniels, couldn't get a piece of it. Penalty is roughing on Barberi, as referee wanted an icing call, but forgot there is a power play. Vandekovic and Long get shook up with the UPJ players. They'll joust behind the play. Daniels across for Kasivi. He'll circle back. Looking for room to go. We'll swap with Blevins. Kasivi. Back shot Daniels. Save made. Vandekovic for Kasivi. Look for Daniels in front. That's broken up. And here comes UPJ the other way. It's Hooks on a break. Hooks dangling. Works to the outside. Puts one on. Wide of the net. Blevins picks up behind the net. Will roll with speed up ice. Comes down the right wall, gets around one, continues his drive to the backhand, looks to dangle through. Makes 2 UPJ players hit each other, but does not keel onto the puck. Bouncing puck in front, rolls now to Daniels. Stepping down is Killen. For Vandekovic. Takes it behind the net, looking. All over him is an Ice Cat, he'll get away. Works up high to the blue line, drop pass down to Daniels. Daniels to Kasivi. Quickly moves his way in for Blevins. Off the drop pass, up high to Daniels. Daniels for Blevins. Steps back, puts one on, deflected by Kasivi Watt. Looking for a man in front, no one home. Cleared out by Anthony Morano with 9 seconds to go on the penalty.
Full 2-minute shift for that first power play unit. So they're going to be tired, especially with a mixed match line. That's probably not going to be great for the Colonials.
Penalty officially expired. Colonials will get a couple fresh bodies on the ice after that dump. But UPJ back to full strength as they'll send this one in. Norkovikics looking to split the D. Out comes Fulton and some contact. And now Norkovikics and the Colonial faithful as well as Fulton getting mixed up on that far wall. Actually now everybody except for two is mixed up in there.
Fulton got hit and then went right over to the UPJ player that hit him, standing over him. Don't know if it was a friendly exchange, if they knew each other, because I do know Gunnar Fulton knows a couple players on this team, or if it was a not-so-friendly exchange.
It's the look to separate. I think you'd probably at least have one on each side here that will head to the box. We've seen 3 penalties called already. These refs are not afraid to do so, and we see...
It's just one for UPJ.
Wow. It's just Morano. That's actually kind of surprising. Did they get Morano for just goalie interference? Was he the one that hit him is the question? If not, was it just something after the whistle?
It was probably something after the whistle, is my guess.
Because usually you think after the whistle you take 1 and 1.
Yeah. UPJ faithful,
yeah.
Unhappy with that one in the stands.
But Colonials to power play number 3. Down low. LaQuatra up high for Newton. Now to kill it. Broken up. And now Newton will battle back and get the puck back for RMU. Penalty coming up to UPJ. So it'll be a 5-on-3 as UPJ tried not to touch it, so Lignione just got caught in the mix. And for the next minute 44, it's going to be a 5-on-3. But Zach Zito just walked behind us for UPJ, so if you want some positive right now, you have one.
Well, the fact that he has no skates on and his blades are out of his skates.
Oh, it's a skate issue.
No blades in the skates. He's holding them separately, so definitely something broken in the skate. Or just switching blades, no idea.
But now, sorry, hopefully he comes back. So that's now 3 bad things for the UPJ faithful. Killen, Cervelli shot, and it bar downs the top of the netting and almost drills a fan. Actually, that was Mr. Vukman that almost got the brunt of it. So Hooks was caught with a high stick on the Newton play. I did not catch the other.
Roughing.
Roughing? Okay. So Morano roughing, Hooks high sticking.
This is a great chance for the Colonials.
LaQuatra walks the blue line, looking for some room. He'll backpedal back. Pataneski, the net front. LaQuatra gets taken momentarily down by the Ice Monster. Up high to Killen. Killen shots deflected wide. Crivelli behind the net to Newton. Quickly up high LaQuatra. LaQuatra to Killen. Killen shot deflected by Pataneski wide. LaQuatra gets at the top of the circle. So Crivelli. Crivelli settling, puts one on. Save made. Page. UPJ clears. Fulton out of his crease. Will pick it up. Colonials getting a couple fresh bodies on. Newton to Blevins. Has some room to work with. Colonials going for the rest of the changes. Walks the blue line. Down low to Kasivi. Kasivi to Long. Long looking to Blevins. Has a little trouble with it. Now settles. Has Crivelli. Crivelli sauces for Daniels. Puts that one wide of the net. Stepping down Long. Blevins keeps it alive. Blevins for Crivelli. Bounces off his blade. 18 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Crivelli in front for Kasivi. Too hard of a pass. UPJ clears. 5 seconds of 5-on-3. Long. Quickly up to Blevins. 15 seconds now of a power play. Dangles in. Across for Bendekovic. Bendekovic holding. Settles back for Blevins. Blevins looking. Puts one on. Stick save Page. Goes Stays in play, actually. Off the high boards. Kasivi for Blevins. Penalty expired. Bendekovic now. Looks for the stick down low. Kasivi is pushed wide. UPJ survives an almost 2-minute 5-on-3 attack and continues with their 2-1 lead as we approach 3 minutes to go in period 1.
Colonials 0 for 4 on the power play now. Not a good stat.
Looking to make him pay. Kazarowski looks to drive in, broken up by Devin Lamago. Sends it to center. Blevins still on the ice. Across for Jack Jones, puts it on. Pad save Page. To the point. Bendekovic. Circling. Taps it. Shot blocked away. Cleared to center. Jones picks it up. Skies this one in. As UPJ looks to settle behind their own net. Miller. Off the give and go with Kazarowski. Caught in the skates. Miller will now send it in as he gets taken in the wall by Lamago. Colonials clear. No icing with the ice catch changing. Miller, the captain, sends it out. Kazarowski by his lonesome. Puts one on. Fulton gets a piece of it. It's high and wide. D to D, Miller. Gets it to center. No icing. And now to Chase. Here's Killen. Off the boards. Gets around one. Into the UPJ zone. Takes it behind the net, looking in front, no one home, but has Shirelli at the blue line. Shirelli shot, glove save, Page, and will hold on with $1:39 to go in period 1.
Page has looked really good, had to face 4 power plays, only letting the one shot, might have gotten tipped in front, didn't get a good shot on, didn't get a good idea of if it did or not, but a great chance for the Colonials here. They need to tie this one up if they want any chance.
The Rose unit stepped on. It's been quite a while since lines 3 and 4 have seen the ice with all these power plays. But a mixture of Kasivi and Daniels in there as well. Kasivi to Killen. For Daniels, broken up. Shirley could not keep. He'll take this one back. And plays it off the wall to Killen. Plays it up for Rose. He'll send it in. Rose wearing the A tonight. Another one we forgot to mention, back in the lineup, returning from injury. A huge get for the Colonials on offense. Shirley picks off the pass. He'll drive in. Shirley shot. A bunch of UPJ sticks break that up. 1 minute to go in this first period of play. Daniels keeps it alive momentarily. Out with it come the Ice Cats. Nick Rosick tries to split the D, gets mixed up with Pataneski. Shirley races to the puck with Aiden Rice, rolls to the point, shot comes in, sails around the boards. Actually takes a weird bounce off the boards, and the Colonials will play it out. UPJ sends this up ice, little trouble with it. Serlignione looks for Rice on the back pass. Rose will play this one out. Colonials look to change. Lone chaser is Kloss. Could not block it away. Shot coming in, saved by Fulton on Serlignione. And we'll get the whistle with 9.5 ticks to go.
Colonials seeming like they're going to head into intermission down 1. And if I got to be honest, they have not looked strong this period.
It's a good, 2 minutes, 3 minutes to start the game?
Yeah.
And then after that, it's just not the greatest chances, not the greatest passing in the offensive zone. Bendekovic looking to squeak one final shot in. He'll just dump it. And at the end of 1, UPJ up 2-1 thanks to goals off the stick of Chase Hope and then Colin Kutch. The lone goal from RMU, Aston Pataneski, the first of his career from Joey LaQuatra. So we will head to intermission, about 12, 13-ish minutes on the clock. And the second period of UPJ and RMU will be back right after this. Second period of play between UPJ and RMU here from the Olympic Ice Arena. The battle for second place in the conference. I'm Caden McCrory alongside me, Andrew Keel. UPJ up 2-1 after a phenomenal second half of that first period by the Ice Cats.
I think it should be more than 2-1 if it went their way. I feel like the amount of chances they had, just purely ice time wise, they dominated the first period. At least 3/4 of that period was all UPJ. If it wasn't for Gunnar Fulton, this would be much uglier.
A little update behind us. The fellow Franklin Regional friend of Gunnar Fulton, Zach Zito, working on that skate still. He's now walking around barefoot as fans of UPJ are trying to get that skate fixed. But hopefully they can get it going. But for right now, he's just wandering the rink in his socks.
Yeah. Colonials, they've got to turn it around this period.
4 power plays in that first period, capitalized on 0, including a 5-on-3.
And they gave up a shorthanded goal.
Right. I don't know. It's not a shorthanded.
It wasn't?
It was right out of the box.
Right out of the box, that's right.
Almost a shorthanded goal. But close
Basically
enough.
the same thing.
Yes. But puck is down. Colonials down by 1. And here we go. Levin's unit on to start here with Bendekovic and Kloss, Patneski, and Long the same way we started this game. As Bendekovic with an early hit. Here's Patneski. Kept alive by the Ice Cats off the stick here of Kyle Repligol. Behind the net for Aiden Rice. Sent in by Will Miller. He'll ricochet this around behind the net. Looking for a chance in front. Shot comes in from Miller. Blocked away by Blevins. Picked up by Bendekovic. And now goes to Kyle Kloss. Kloss works to the outside. Offsides Colonials as they look to enter in. Andrew, last check on the D1 side, it was 5-2?
Yes.
Yes. With a goal that we saw right before we went live.
Still 5-2.
Okay. They're cutting the deficit. It's not quite there, but it's better.
Less than 10 minutes to go in that game, so they've got to pick it up if they want to come back.
The other interesting thing from that game is the shots were favoring RMU the last we checked.
Yeah, it was 26-25 last I checked in favor of RMU.
Interesting. So we'll keep an eye on that one. RMU D1 plays John Carroll tomorrow. They're playing Merciers tonight, and we'll see if we get an update on that game too, because it seemingly is a one-sided matchup, but you never know in the CHMA.
Anything can happen.
That's right. Behind the net, Colonials in the offensive zone. Picked up by the Ice Cats, and here they come. Repligol sends it on by Hope. Stopped away there by Fulton. Picked up now behind that by Killen for RMU. Sends it along the benches. Ends up taking out a UPJ player off the dome. Coaches are saved, and they'll throw this puck back onto the ice.
Taking a tumble in his own defensive zone. That down there is Owen. Jeez.
Serlignione.
I could have worded it out, figured it out, but I just wasn't ready.
Shout out to former Florida two-way player Jack Caglione for helping me out with that. Just adding a couple extra letters in there. Here's Caden Kazarowski. Sends this one in, the alternate captain for the Ice Cats. Killen behind that for Crivelli. Bounces it for Joey LaQuatra. Cross now to Adam Shirilli. He'll carry through center. Shirilli takes this one to the outside, into the corner. Colonials will change a defenseman behind the play. Down goes Shirilli, picked up now by UPJ. And they'll clear this one to center ice.
Referee throwing a body there on Shirilli.
Referee hits 1 on the second period stat line. Kasivi takes this one into the corner, now gets some help from Luke Rose. Rose battling, gives it down low. Kasivi for Jones. Jones shot, save made by Page. Bounces out to Daniels, his attempt. Page gets down and cleans up the rebound. And a whistle here at 17:42.
Almost want to look for the pass across to Kasivi there because he's wide open while Page is moving forward to cover the shot. I feel like a pass there to Kasivi and he's got a wide open net to bury it.
This line of first look at it with Rose coming back. The wingers stay the same in Daniels and Kasivi, but Bookman changing units. So a brand new look here for Coach Riffner's third line. Sent in by Tepsic on sides of the Colonials. UPJ looking to work up ice. They have a lane through center. Kept down, no high stick. As Rose gets a piece of it on the dump in. Now behind that, Jack Jones. Around for Daniels. Gets met by an Ice Cat. Now Tepsik meets Norkovikics. So battle along the wall. Norkovikics off the feed, looking. Blocked by Rose. Rebound is there. Jones tumbles down to his behind and puts it into the corner. Miller stepping down, sends this one behind, and that bouncing puck corralled by Jones as he'll sky it off the glass and to center ice. Miller sends this one up for Della. Gets around one. Sends this one back to the point. Daniels right there to meet him. Sends it out, and now Cassivi will drive it in. Across the blue line, sends it around. Colonial's going for the full sail change, or at least 4 out of 5. Patneski bounces it off the wall. A weird bounce goes through a bunch of bodies and all the way down behind the net where UPJ can send it out. Here's Della on his backhand. Has some help in Norkovikics. Pulls behind the net. Gives it off to Della. Looking in front, and they'll score. Anthony Morano sneaks that one home through Fulton. His first of the season. It's 3-1 Ice Cats.
The Colonials, they were looking stronger at the start of this period. Ice Cats come down, pass from behind the net, goes right to a stick, and gets buried right away.
That's now 2 Ice Cats tonight, Andrew, with their first goals of the season. Between Morano and then early in the game, Colin Kutch. That one being a power play goal as well. Top unit hops back on for Coach Riffner. As hand pass, I believe, called, or no? Offsides. Yep. So offsides Colonials, we're going to take this one outside the zone. Off the draw, Bendekvik wins it forward to Blevins. Blevins looking for Kloss ahead of him. Kloss behind the net, has some trouble with it. Rolls into the slot, picked up by the Ice Cats, as we'll send this one to center. Patneski off the dump in. Sends it all the way down. No icing. Kloss for Blevins for Bendekovic. He'll score off the tic-tac-toe. Colonials get it right back from the sophomore, Ethan Bendekovic. It's 3-2.
What a tic-tac-toe play there, as Bendekovic had a horrible angle on that shot too. Able to find the back of the net though. And like I said, tic-tac-toe and a beautiful one.
Can't draw it up any better than that. One behind the net to the outside, and then bang. A lot of room to work with for Ethan Bendekovic. Bendekovic, for him, 5th goal of the season. He had 3. I'm sorry, I think they gave him credit for 3. He only had really 2, I think, against Kent State. But 2 really important goals. Bendekovic actually now taken out of the faceoff, as Zach Blevins, the lefty sophomore, will have to take his place. Blevins off the draw, strives in, shot, tipped away, out of play, and will stay in the Ice Cat zone. That's not right.
That's not right.
It should have been Kyle Kloss. They gave it to Rose. We all know it was Kloss. Unless we didn't see something.
Unless Kloss transported his position.
Not entirely sure, but Kloss is still on the ice. Just to say so.
And there was no change after the play.
I don't think so. Or before the play, really, for much of it. But regardless, breakaway attempt. Fulton comes out and makes the stop. Challenges the UPJ forward, and now will climb back to his crease. What a play from the big netminder.
Great play indeed.
Well, they actually now gave it to Kloss. There you go. Here's Killen now, settles from RMU, goes for Blevins, broke it up. First line still on the ice after a very long shift. Blevins looking for room, blocked on the first attempt. Gets stripped away from the puck, still having trouble with it. And now Killen gets taken down. Bodies are just not able to stay up in the defensive zone right now.
Gunnar Fulton will clear that one out of the danger zone as Killen unable to know where the puck is.
One of those UPJ guys went down, Zach Zito. I don't know if the new skate's doing wonders here, but good to see him back on the ice.
He is back on the ice. So skates are fixed. I believe it was a blade issue.
Yes. I don't think he's too happy with the blade right now, though. As he will head off to the bench. And it'll be a defensive zone draw for the Colonials. Aiden Friend against Bendekovic as that first line looked to change. Only get a couple of guys off. Newton on the block, and now here he comes down the left wall. Newton with some steam, looks to put it on. Getting back was Barberi to break it up. Newton in front for Shirilli, rolls behind the net. Bendekovic still holding on. Gets it off. Levitz looks to put this one on net with a deflection. Now Shirilli will come down. For Bendekovic behind that, could not hold on to the puck. Barberi looks to clear. Shirilli once again to play it in. Behind the net, Newton races to it, shakes off the check. UPJ can get this to center ice. Stepping up is Jones, blocked away, and now UPJ with a chance. Cooch against Jones. He'll take this one around behind the net. Looks to get around Crivelli, still holding on between the legs, poked away by Fulton. A really good individual effort by Colin Cooch. Racing down to the Colonials now. 13 minutes to go in period 2. A goal apiece in the second frame. Through center, Crivelli gets a stick in there, does not get it through. Now the Ice Cats take it in. Look to dangle through a couple bodies, getting back as Crivelli to take him down. As Ben Teddy looked to go through the whole RMU defense. Now Jones plays it up for Crivelli. Gets some help from the UPJ defense. Crivelli holding. Up high, LaQuatra. His shot. Save made by Page. An incidental drop pass. Now picked up by Colin Cooch. Storming in. A roll behind net with this one. Looking for a man in front. Bouncing puck. Daniels corrals for the Colonials. Could not clear. Kept alive at the blue line by Chase Huff. Jones behind the net, had Kasivi pinching behind the D, but could not get that pass down. Tepsic around the wall, kept alive by Will Miller. Plays this one down low, blocked by Tepsic. He'll pick it up for RMU. Couldn't get it out. Second attempt, he can. Past Miller, icing waved off. Off a hand of Will Miller, I believe, there to get the no icing. Jones stepping out. Here come the Ice Cats, 3-on-2, getting back as Kasivi. Shot comes in, glove save, Fulton, and he'll cover up with 11:23 to go.
One thing I've noticed is 5 penalties called in the first period, none so far in the second. It's a very good trend so far. You don't want unnecessary penalties, but obviously commentators curse for getting in a penalty on this next play.
And just remember, power plays are leading 4-1 RMU. So you know at some point here, Andrew, RMU's going to have to go for 2 for something. Just kind of the way it works. Newton, Owen that is, gets hit down to the ice by the flying Kazarowski. UPJ up ice now. Dangling Patneski. Plays it in front, looking for Kazarowski, couldn't get there. Bookman to Lamago. Takes it in for RMU as he gets pushed off the puck. Has some reinforcement. Owen Newton for Bookman. Gets taken down behind the net. Ice Cats look to clear. Patneski denies it and throws it right back in. Bouncing puck. Patneski once more. Puts it on net. Save made by Matthew Page.
I was wrong. No penalty on this play.
Stop saying that. No. 5-on-5 hockey.
Yeah.
That's what we want right now.
We want that.
The first period was not 5-on-5 hockey. Offensive zone draw once again, and who else with the first line to come out and take it?
They got their rest. See if they can get another one on the board.
Blevins off the draw, dangles the center, looks for the shot. Denied by the Ice Cats. Here's Kloss. Plays it up high to Shirilli. Shirilli bouncing puck. Can settle and put it into the corner. Killen stepping up, denies Norkovikic, goes off to Blevins. Blevins looking for room, fires one wide of the net. Bendekovic couldn't get there. Ice Cats cleared, will roll wide of Fulton icing. That puck really had some ice. That looked dead set in Fulton's crease.
It did look like it was going straight for the crease.
Again, Zito is behind us.
Unfortunate. It gets one or two shifts. I know for one for sure, but immediately going back to the locker room. Unfortunate.
Poor guy. He's had a rough night. You got to feel for him. They're trying everything they can with that skate blade. But hopefully, for the second time, he can return to the UPJ lineup. Shirilli for Bendekovic. His attempt to get it in there was denied as Killen gets taken into the wall by the big Aaron Norkovikics. Off the referee's boot. Now UPJ can collect it. But the Kloss chipping in. Could not get the shot away. Behind that, Kloss still surrounding that puck. Gives it off to Blevins. He gets taken down. Blevins up high to Shirilli. Bouncing puck settled by the Ice Cats. And now they'll take up ice. Across the blue line, taking it behind the net, looking in front. Now a roll off to Marano. Looking for the stick of Norkovikic, broken up by Shirilli. Plays it back to Killen. Sends it to Bendekovic. Colonials changing on the fly here with just under 9 to go. Bendekovic dragged to the ice. Penalty coming up on the Ice Cats. Power play number 5 for RMU.
Unhappy UPJ fans in the stands. Pretty cut and dry trip, though, I believe.
I believe so as well. Kind of just got around the ankles, did Dom Della, and down on Bendekovic.
Also want to clarify, a lot of UPJ fans upset on the Kloss play, saying he was offsides. But according to rules, UPJ put that back into their own defensive zone, so there is no offsides on that, so Kloss was able to stay in because it was sent in by a UPJ player.
Thank you for the clarification, Mr. Rollbook. I was wondering the same thing. Shot coming in there, deflected by Newton, cleared out by the Ice Cats, as this will roll for Fulton to pick up. 0 for 4 in period 1. Now the first power play in general, period 2. Crivelli pokes it out to center. Ice Cats are waiting and look to send it in. LaQuatra blocks it away, gives it out to Crivelli. Crivelli coming in, puts it on, getting a piece of it was Page. Patneski to the point to Newton. Down low, LaQuatra gets around 1 on his backhand, looks for somebody. Crivelli picks up at the half circle. Crivelli's shot coming in, rebound is there. Newton shot saved by Page. Killen, backpedaling, or Patneski, excuse me. Behind the net for Justin Newton. Newton looking. Takes the shot himself, saved by Page with Patneski parked in front. 54 more seconds on this power play.
So be if this gets killed by UPJ, 5 penalty kills straight, it'll look really good for them, and I feel like they can build up the momentum. They can hire lead out of this.
It's definitely a momentum changer for sure. Like I said, at some point UPJ is due for a power play.
Unless the Colonials play by the books the rest of the game.
Knowing CHA hockey, I don't think that is going to happen. Blevins picking it up, top unit back on the ice, backhand attempt, shoveled wide. Bendekovic will pick it up, looking up high for long, shakes off hip pass, takes it himself, puts it on, rebound is there. Still looking for it. Daniels takes it behind the net. Has Kasivi. Up high for Blevins, out of his reach, keeps it in, shakes off the check of Marano, continues forward. Blevins looking, has Bendekovic down low. Bendekovic works his way up high, goes across for Blevins. 8 seconds to go on the Della penalty. Blevins looking across for Ben Dekovic, couldn't settle it. Power play number 5 has come to an end, and UPJ remains perfect shorthanded. Blevins meets 2 UPJ players in front of the bench, continues his drive forward. Now a bunch of more friends will join him. Looking to dig it out, eventually will. And now the Ice Cats will take up ice. Della sends it behind the net, Ben Dekovic. Plays it around the wall. Quickly thrown back in by Plowman. It's Ben Dekovic with the reverse hit behind the net. Lamago can't clear. Long behind the net holding. Gets away from 1 on the spin. Plays it around for Daniels. Pins the puck. Leaves for Long. Cross to Shirilli. We'll go D-to-D for Noah Long. Colonials slowing the pace for Vukman. Now Daniels back to Vukman. Vukman puts it on. Pad save made by Page. Taken around behind the net. Vukman for Newton. Looks to drive through. Hit off the puck. Ice Cats will take it through center. Looking for somewhere to go. Drop pass. Up for Kazarowski. Bouncing puck. Plays it behind the net. Kill it with a huge hit. Colonials clear. 5:20 to go in the second period. 3-2 UPJ. Off the dump and kill it. Corrals it. Plays it off the wall looking for Lamago. Did not get to him. Killen will try once more. UPJ right there to meet him. And we'll send it in the Colonial zone. UPJ changing on the fly. Shirelli. Up ice. Vukman off his skate. Out wide for Owen Newton. Drop pass for Vukman. Diving, could not get there. Killen for Vukman. Sends this one behind the net. Off a weird bounce. And plays it off the side of the net. Kazarowski to clear. Kept alive at the blue line. Shot comes in, rolls behind the net. Whacking at it. Golf swing. Gets that couple feet. Colonials get it right back. Tap stick to LaQuatra. Sends it in, avoids the icing. Crivelli steps up. Sit behind the net. Fakes. To the top of the point to Jones. Jones is shot with a diving Colonial in front. Picked up by now by Crivelli. Behind net for Justin Newton. Down low, Crivelli shot, save Page. Newton will pick it up. All Colonials the last couple of minutes here. UPJ sends it behind their own net. Newton blocks, keeps it in the RMU zone. Up high, Crivelli couldn't settle. Kazarowski will pick it up. And will send this one to center finally. As UPJ trying to get some changes. RMU looks to get back in the offensive zone, but denied by the Ice Cats. Fulton flashes the weather, gets the whistle here at 3:29.
It's been about 3 minutes since we've had a whistle there. Long time there. Colonials almost went through the whole lines. Every single line during that play of action. Third line jumping on now, being the final line for the since the last whistle.
Update from Indiana, Pennsylvania. The final is IUP 7, RMU 3. She said Colonials back in action tomorrow, the D1 Colonials that is, as they'll host John Carroll at 8:30 here on the Clearview Ice Arena and here on the YouTube channel. As for the D3 Colonials, guess where they're traveling? To IUP. So just the trade-off of who gets to play IUP. Both of them at IUP's rink. UPJ clears. Icing. Ice Cats.
Colonials said this at the end of the last period. They need to get one to tie this to really bring momentum into the third. We saw that with the last period. Ice Cats kept the lead going in. They kept momentum going in, and they score first in the second period. Colonials obviously scoring right back, but having momentum going into the end of the period is probably the strongest thing you can have in this game so far.
Another thing that UPJ is going to luck out on here is a shot off the draw by Daniels, and then they can change.
Yeah. So are the Colonials, though.
I like it. Fresh bodies, why not? Oh, who else with the first line? Well, there's strategy in that?
Probably.
Probably. Off the draw. Kloss to Patneski, looks for the deflection of Bendekovic. Did not get there. Long. Fires from the blue line, looks for a deflection, could not get one. Patneski rings it around. Has Kloss waiting. They'll roll up high to Long. Down low for Blevins. That's broken up. And now a foot race, won by the backpedaling Patneski. UPJ will play this on net. Fulton will hold it off. Long settles behind the net. Off to Patneski. Up for Bendekovic. Too hard of a pass. Kazarowski storming in. Excuse me, not Kazarowski. That was Sulignione. Nice little joust away with Long. Bendekovic comes out with it. Plays it for Kloss. Chopped that and kept alive in the RMU zone. Patneski can clear this one. And this one will be an icing. RMU. Gotta hold it.
Blevins looking like he was going to make a run for his money. Ended up holding up, saving his energy there as he had to skate all the way the length of the ice back then.
Just get your steps in.
Yeah.
Just get a couple strides in. Keep the legs moving. He is an Energizer Bunny, to say this. I don't think he gets tired very often. As Colonials wanted the draw to our left, UPJ wants it to our right. And that's where they're going to have to go, because it's their call. Face-off won by Rice. Looking for some room. Blocked away by RMU. Plowman sends it into the corner. Patneski with a hit in front of our camera there. Behind the net, Patneski will pick it off. Has some trouble on the clear with Kutch in his lane. And here comes Blevins. For Bendekovic, couldn't get to him. Long to receive it on the back end. Looks off a glove of Kutch. Here comes Blevins storming in. Blevins to the outside. Looking in front, could not feed a Colonial. Zach Zito is now in street clothes next to us.
Oh.
So seemingly his night is over for UPJ. And something that he just couldn't avoid, sadly. Just the nature of hockey. Here's a shot coming in by Shirilli. He scores! Adam Shirilli, second in as many weekends, ties this game at 3 with 52.7 to go.
That's something the Colonials have been looking for, is that pass across to keep Page out of the loop. And that's 2 straight wide open net goals on passes going right through the blue paint.
That's how they're going to give him up. That's how you have to take him. And beautifully executed by the Colonials once again. And Shirilli really heating up on the goal column. That had his first career goal last weekend in that 11-1 shootout with Akron. And now a huge goal to tie this at 3. Also had a shootout winner against St. Vincent just a couple of weekends ago. Luke Rose gets an assist. Is he actually on the ice? I'm not sure. And then Owen Newton will also be on the back end of that one. Oh, Zito's back. I saw someone with skates. Thought it was him. But now Zito is making his way back to the bench for the last 25 seconds. By the time he gets there, he'll have to turn around and come right back.
Yeah, probably better to stay in the locker room at that one. Maybe not stay in the locker room, but just watch from over here.
Yes. Give him credit, though. He's going to continue to try to fight through this game, no matter the equipment issues that come his way. 20 seconds to go in period 2. Shirilli, fans on the clear. Drop pass, Kazarowski save Fulton as Killen drives into his own goaltender. Fulton back to his feet now. 5 seconds to go. UPJ looking for one final chance, diving down Shirley, rebound for Kazarowski, pad, save Fulton as the buzzer hits 0. And at the end of 2, all knotted up at 3. Who could have saw that coming?
No one at all.
What a second period.
What a second period indeed.
Lone goal from UPJ in that period comes from Anthony Morano's first of the season. Ethan Bendekvik gets his 5th for RMU. And then just 50 seconds ago in terms of the score clock, Adam Shirilli gets his 2nd to tie this at 3. Final thoughts before we head into intermission here, Richard?
I called it. Colonials needed that last second boost. They needed to tie it with little time left to gain momentum into the 3rd period, and that's exactly what they did.
At the end of 2, we're tied at 3. A wild 3rd period between these two rivals. The battle for 2nd place continues in just 13 minutes time for period 3. We'll see you then. Third period, down to the wire, divisional hockey. But the battle for 2nd place, UPJ and RMU. Zach Zito back on the ice with a fresh skate, possibly.
Trying a 3rd pair of skates.
Hopefully. I'm Cade McCrory alongside Andrew Keel. Let's hope Zito's skates stay together. Let's hope this is a tight one to the end. This will be fun. Here we go. Colonials with 2 goals in the 3rd still have not found their way on the power, or the 2nd, excuse me. Still looking for that power play goal as they lead in power plays 5-1. With this game all knotted up at 3. Adam Shirilli with the goal in the late 2nd period to get us to that point. The big hit thrown, and down goes a UPJ player, Nick Rosick, and he'll make his way to the bench. Now Zito goes down, and that skate again. The blade's off, and he is making his way to the bench. He tried. That's all you can give him. Now the other way, Aiden Rice has a break for the Ice Cats. Puts one on, bounces off the stick and wide. Behind the net, in front for Howe, shot. Save made by Fulton. Bouncing puck off a divot in the ice, and UPJ has to retreat back. Miller had some trouble with it. Blevins will pick it up behind the net. Blevins looks to go around, spinning. Has some space to work with, goes to the point to Killen. Killen, puck down on the ice, rolls to Justin Newton. He'll circle. Across Shirilli, his shot sails high of the net. Killen, bouncing puck, kicks and keeps it alive. UPJ chopping at it. Crivelli to pick it up. Now behind the net, Blevins, bouncing puck. Rolls off the top of the netting. Blevins gloves it down. Hand pass Blevins.
Covers his hand on the puck.
Yep. Shout out as well to our friends at Ted Band. The owner, Mr. Todd Kazarowski, father of Caden Kazarowski of UPJ. We love to see that. We love to be on 10 Band, good friends that we partnered with for the playoffs last year for D1, D3, and D4.
And D2.
And D2, that's right. So shout out to our friends at 10 Band. Always do a great job over there. And for Tad Kazarowski's son to see his son play here on our YouTube channel and now on 10 Band as well. Shot in and save made by Matthew Page. Covered up at 18-10.
Quick, definite. I mean, I don't want to say I called it again, but I called it again. The Colonials have all the momentum after scoring late in that 3rd period to tie this game.
It just shows how quickly momentum shifts. Especially when teams are so tight like this. In terms of skill level, some good goaltending out of the late from both Fulton and Page. We said it off air, this is going to be a down-to-the-wire game. It could be almost like a last-shot win, similar to basketball, of who's going to be the final one to just put in the back of the net. Chance for the Ice Cats. Shirilli gets in, breaks it up, rolls behind the net. Chopping is LaQuatra to the point shot by Howe. Glove save. Fulton holds on at 17:48.
And just as I say that, UPJ comes down, they get a good offensive zone time. So now I'm going to say they have momentum, and the Colonials are going to come down and have momentum.
That's just how it works.
But saying that now is going to reverse it.
Exactly. Off the draw, Kazarowski looks to walk in on the faceoff. Rose blocks it away. Here's Howe, plays it behind. Colonials pick it up. Move this one to center. There's Serlignione. Plays it all the way back to Barberi off the stick of an Ice Cat. That one will take a nice trip into the netting. Out of play here at 17:30.
Faceoff should be out of the zone, and it will be. So the Colonials getting a break there, not getting in the zone.
Off the draw, Kazarowski wins it for the Ice Cats. Wins back to Barberi. Chops this one. Fulton will tap that away. Tepsic behind for Jones. Shakes off the check. Tepsic looking to move up ice. Kept alive by UPJ. They'll send it down low. Kazarowski holding. Puts one wide of the net. This one wraps around the board. Serlignion there to keep it alive. Serlignion once again at the top of the circle. Shot blocked away. Jones picking up for RMU. Bouncing puck. UPJ comes in the other way. Barberi on his backhand. Walks through one. Takes it behind the net. Holding onto it still. Up high Serlignion. Back to Barberi. Shot coming in. Rebound is there. Kazarowski digging down Fulton to make the save.
Two other Colonials collapsing in to cover the line. Make sure that one doesn't squeak by him.
Not just having your friends help you out there.
Yeah.
You need that. Colonials get a couple of changes. UPJ will go for the full sale. Cody Barr back on the ice. Did not play in the second period. On that unit with Bookman and the ever-changing forward beside him. Atneski racing to it. Goes for Owen Newton. Turned over. Shot from Norka Vikics off the high glove of Fulton behind the net. Chopping at it is Long. Will clear this one to center as Will Miller banks it off the glass. Down goes an Ice Cat. Tripping call coming up. Barr will touch up, and UPJ will head to their first power play in period number 3.
Since the first, and you called it that, the Colonials were going to be given one for sure. UPJ was going to get a power play. It's 5-2 now, so maybe still some incoming.
The question is who's going to the box. Looks like Bookman. So Bookman's second penalty of the game, if I stand corrected on that. I think it was him on the first one. I'm sorry if it wasn't Jackson, but UPJ on the second power play, they scored only a couple seconds into their first one off of Colin Cook, and they'll score 9 seconds into this one. It's Will Miller with a lot of deflections in front. UPJ takes back the lead. It's 4-3.
Screen in front. Fulton didn't see it till it was too late. And UPJ taking the lead back once again on the power play. 2 for 2 on the power play compared to the Colonials 0 for 5. Not a good number. 2
goals, both power play goals coming in the first 10 seconds of the penalty.
They know what they're doing.
That's insane work. But Will Miller, as we mentioned in the first power play, has had 2 power play goals already this season, make that number 3 for the captain of the Ice Cats. Kloss puts one on net, played away. Blevins looking, holding, shot, ricocheted with a diving Bendekovic as he'll joust in front of the UPJ cage with Kyle Replicable. Chirilli stepping out, make the hit. Colonials really putting on the intensity. Bendekovic diving down, makes a check. UPJ still holding on to the point to Miller. Shot ricochets wide. Here's Kloss. Brings it around the boards, plays it to center. Miller holding on. Bendekovic with a break. Here he comes. Bendekovic breakaway shot. Sails wide, rebound is their bouncing puck. Digging away is Blevins. Page with the stop. An A-plus opportunity for RMU to get back in this game. Off the skate of Blevins. He storms into the zone. Looking for somewhere to go, has Justin Newton. He'll pick it up, chops at it, puts it on that glove save. Page, he will hold on with 14:46.
Colonials with a great chance there for Bendekovic as he's moving in. A-plus chance, misses just wide, but almost gets his own rebound and almost banks that one in.
Just a bad break for the Ice Cats there. Just trying to chip up ice. Bendekovic with the incidental block almost. And an A-plus chance. Tepsic off the draw, rings it around the boards. Serlignione picks it up, will chip it out. Jones for RMU clears it right back in, off a glove, I believe, of a UPJ bench player.
That's going to be a neutral zone, but towards the Colonial bench.
Stand corrected right outside the RMU zone.
That's what I said.
Yep. I said stand corrected. Just making sure.
I saw where they were pointing. I have eyes.
Crivelli against Kazarowski on the draw. Tied up, Kazarowski wins it forward. Newton grabs it for the Colonials to Jones. Looks to send it out to the point. Barberry keeps it in. Howell behind the net, loses it to Tepsic. Justin Newton for Jones. Banked off the wall, looking ahead for Crivelli. Looks to split the D. Denied there by Serlignione. Newton driving in. Taken away there. Serlignione once more. Striving in for the Ice Cats. Dangles around one. Has some help in Howell. In front, Tepsic to clear it out. Kept alive by Barberry. Holding. Works to the outside. Shot coming in. Blocked by the Colonials. Justin Newton plays it down. Icing RMU with 13:40 to go.
Barely didn't get the line there. An unfortunate bounce.
We'll take the moment to remind you 2 games coming up on the channel tomorrow, or 1, we don't know. Cleveland
Promised
State,
1. Promised 2.
Promised 1.
We're promised 2.
Yes. We
But
might only get 1. D4 hosts Cleveland State at 3:45, and then D1 hosts John Carroll at 8:30. The Cleveland State is the asterisk game because, as of right now, they don't have a roster available to us, and they've also canceled almost every other game they've played. So, if you're a D4 Colonial fan or just a hockey fan in general, hopefully we have that for you. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
But the other one for sure, unless something happens to the rink. Norkovic drives in for UPJ, puts one towards the net. This will ricochet around. Shot coming in from Plowman. Blocked by RMU. They'll clear this one to center. Backplanning Plowman for Norkovic. Looking to spring Della free. Could not. Kasivi for Daniels. Daniels gets hit, trying to hold on to that puck. Rhodes chops at it for Kasivi. Gets his stick, and they're continuing to get it around Barberry. He'll continue his stride. Barberry looking, shot, ricochets around the wall. Plowman gets met by Rose. He'll clear. Icing RMU.
It's been all UPJ. Since the first 3 minutes of this game, UPJ has been, or of this period, I should say, my mistake. It's been all UPJ, and the Colonials need to do something because they've had their fair share of, one shot, but they need to get some good zone pressure and get one past.
And they score off the draw. Zach Zito. New skate. How do you do? Goes up high on Fulton, the former Franklin Regional alum. It's 5-3.
Don't know how that one squeaked by. I could hear from here hitting the stick of Gunnar Fulton. Don't know how that one made its way into the net, and it's 5-3.
On the celly there, Andrew Zito goes for skate just to make sure it's good. Just to make sure it's still on there. But Colonial's in a hole now with Zach Zito, his 8th of the season. And talk about just a comeback story of equipment that just didn't want to work. 5-3 Ice Cats. Killen for Newton. Puts it to center. He'll go D to D. Repla goal. Tied up with the Colonial. And now Volkman. Volkman striving on his backhand, still holding on to it. Plays it down low for Owen Newton. Down low for Volkman. Puts one towards the blue paint. Lamago not there. Shot comes in, glove stop by Page. And whistle blown here, 11:56. I know it's only 12 minutes, Andrew, but you'd think quick work here if RMU's offense needs to get going now.
They need to get one quickly if they want to come back in this game. They've been really slow this third period, not getting the bounces, turnovers in abundance. So I feel like they need a quick one just to get some confidence back in their own game if they want to come back and win this.
Draw one by the Ice Cats. Tepsic played it down momentarily. Now we send in by Howe. Howe coming in for UPJ, mixed up with Tepsic. Blevins the pickup. Looks to drive through the middle. Has some help in Kloss. Kloss's shot into the breadbasket, stopped by Page. And just a couple ticks off our last time, 11:37.
Offensive zone draw again for the Colonials. They need to get something going, and quick.
This is the unit to do so. But UPJ also putting their top line onto the ice to match it. Here's a shot from Ben Dekovic, denied by Page. On his backhand, shovels to Tepsic. Across for Jones, off his boot, sends it into the corner. Kloss wrestling away. Whacked at by Miller, and will get this one out. Enough for an icing. No, it does not. Tepsic for Jones. Through the middle looking for Ben Dekovic. This one will have enough for an icing on the Colonials.
Unfortunate bounces for the Colonials. Felt like Tepsic kind of held up a little, so they don't call the icing on the Colonials. But that one was a definite icing for the Colonials.
Same unit will be stuck on the ice in Ben Dekovic, Blevins, Tepsic, Kloss, and Jones. Ben Dekovic versus Kazarowski. Warning to Jones and the UPJ player on that right side. Tied up off the draw, Jones picks it up for RMU. Tumbles behind the net. Gets back to his feet, up for Ben Dekovic. Plays it through center. Colonials will at least get one change. Tepsic banks it off the wall. Played up by Miller. Settled by Ben Dekovic. Steps around one. Plays it up to Blevins. Blevins backhand, save Page. Cleared out by Will Miller. Foot race between Chase Ho. Shot coming in. Save made by Fulton. Cleared by the Colonials. As Howe really had a head of steam there going down the ice.
Yeah, he did.
Line changes for both sides. Jones will just have to walk this up ice. Off the stick of LaQuatra. Back is Barberi. Sends it toward the Colonial bench. To be picked up by Morano. Morano drop past Norkovicic. Tries to dangle in. Denied by the Colonials. As long for LaQuatra. Hits off his stick, but not Corral. Sulignione plays it off the stick. Fulton out to play it. And leaves it off. Long. Behind net for Patineski. Up the boards for LaQuatra. Dangles through for Justin Newton. Not in front of the pass. Back to Long. For Patineski. Bouncing puck. Colonials could not settle it again. As now Norkovicic and Patineski get mixed. LaQuatra will come in. And referees will watch closely.
This one looks to be getting a little chippy out on the ice right now. Looking for hits are both teams, and that's not what you want, especially as the Colonials. You do not want to be seeking out hits.
Patineski with a very late change, but will get off in time. One back by Rose. Killen sends it in for RMU. Barberi off the back of the net. Sulignione faking. Now plays it up, denied momentarily by the Colonials. Hand pass.
Kasivi keeps it in, hits off of Rose's skates. And a hand pass called. 9:10 to go.
A lot of whistles in Beer here.
Yes.
Off the draw, Rose wins it. Kasivi puts this one down in for RMU. Now Barberi skies it to center. Killen couldn't corral. Coming in is UPJ off the stick of Aiden Friend. Has a huge hit thrown down low as Killen gets taken down to the ice. Rose chipping ahead. Races against Barberi. He'll take him into the wall. Solignione gets caught up with Daniels. Kasivi on the turnover. Daniels was just flying by and knocked it off his stick. Kasivi in front, rolls. Daniels turning, shot, loose in the blue paint, whacking away. Page gets down and covers up. And now Rose and Solignione get caught up as Page will make the stop.
Page yelled at someone after his gloves comes off. Still yelling. I believe it's toward the bench.
His own bench.
Yeah, his own bench. So I don't know what's being said or if he's upset about something. And they're going to get 2. We're going to go 1 each.
Rose and Solignione.
As the IUP faithful upset about the call.
UPJ faithful. IUP's tomorrow.
Oh, Jesus.
They're just, IUP's here getting ready for tomorrow. It's not even here. I don't, why'd they come out here?
Oh.
Yeah, we all
Not
know
many
that.
teams are called by their abbreviations.
3 letters.
I don't know why I got that mixed up.
Just getting a little ahead of yourself, that's all. Here's a shot from Ben Dekovic denied. We'll play some 4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes. Tepsik, down low for Blevins. Looking for up high for Tepsik. Denied. Now Patneski getting back for the Colonials. Tepsik carries through center. Works to the outside, met by Miller, gets taken down to the ice. Picked up now by Blevins. Blevins circling. All UPJ players collapse in on him. Vandekovic off the give. Tepsik down low to Blevins. Crisscrossing through traffic. Dangles one, puts one on, blocked by Miller. Rebound for Patneski, up high to Tepsik. Knocked off his stick, and now Aiden Rice with a chance. Rice coming in, backhand, Fulton with the stop, and cleared by Patneski. Ice Cats send it down ice, off the stick, or no, icing.
Icing is called, misses both sticks. I thought they were going to call it off because he was back there, but deemed not far back enough as the Colonials are going to get a break here at an offensive zone faceoff. 7:17 to go. 3.5 minutes per goal.
Yep. Rosick there. You thought that hit his stick. That
I
was
did.
very close.
I thought it missed.
I said our angle is not very good either. Trainer's going to go to the RMU bench. As they'll check on.
Don't know
someone.
who.
Looks like a defenseman, if that's the side of the bench they're going to. 51 seconds of 4-on-4. Crivelli gets caught up with Plowman behind. Underneath Plowman, Crivelli's still digging. Out for Justin Newton. Wraps around, up high to Long. Long shot. Bounces around the boards. Shirilli. For Justin Newton. Up high. Crivelli looking. Shot deflected off of Newton. Looking to get the rebound. Cannot stay on his feet. Crivelli to Long. Long, Shirilli. Shirilli for Crivelli. Blocker stop Page. Crivelli again in the breadbasket. Down goes Page. 6 seconds to go on the 4-on-4.
One thing I've noticed the Colonials are having struggles with, getting to the center of the ice. They're moving it up to the points and then along the boards and then behind the net. Those are not high danger chances if you're the Colonials. If I had to take a guess, that one at the end maybe would have been a high danger chance, but other than that, you probably have 3 high danger chances and they all went in the net.
Kasivi wins a draw shot from Long through Page but wide. Solignione and Rose are set free. Here's Kasivi. Up high to Long. Long shot deflect by Daniels wide. Shirilli for Daniels. Up high. Long looking. Shot. Blocked away. And now a chance for Chase Howe. Looking. Goes across. Saved by Fulton. Getting across on the stick of Adam Hooks. Net comes off.
That's a great save there by Fulton on the 2-1-0. Long unable to get back, saving the Colonials from this game being pretty much out of reach.
6:01 to go. If you're Coach Riffner, two-handed question, when's the timeout come and when's the goalie pull?
Goalie pull, that's a very difficult question. I do not think you pull him in this scenario.
Okay. Matt Page needed some checking on while we were discussing the goalie pull scenario. Seems to be okay. No trainer needed, but some difficulty, I think, with some equipment maybe. But he's good now. Off the draw. Howe, bodied by Long. Gets taken down now by Rose. It's Daniels. Heads up ice for RMU. Sutter steps. Looks to split the D, could not. Kept alive by Kasivi. Puts one off the glass behind the net, Rose. Off to his backhand. Looks up high for Kasivi, save Page. Hooks plays it to center. Kazarowski. Offsides UPJ.
Colonials almost definitely going to shorten the bench after this shift here. Probably the last shift we just saw of that third line. Probably the last shift will be the fourth line coming up right now. Probably only going to see line 1 and 2 to end this game.
Line 4, Vukman, Lamago, Owen Newton on. Trainer is looking at Daniel Killen, it looks like, on the RMU bench. It should be a big loss on the blue line if he cannot go for the remainder of this 5:17. Vukman plays it down low as Lamago jousting away. We'll play this behind the net. Newton first to it. Norkovic clears it out. Off of Newton. And offside's call.
Trainer is leaving the RMU bench, so either Killen is good to go or he's done for the night. That's my my expert analysis.
Andrew Keel, MD, from the 100-yard line. UPJ will send this one in. Fulton plays it off to Jones. Behind for Tepsic. Plays it along. Referee had a little bit of a helping in that along with the boards. Tepsic off the referee again. And UPJ clears.
Another example of the Colonials just not getting the bounces they need to come back in this game.
Norkovic shot blocked away. Tepsic holding on. Will sky this one. No icing. He's getting back his Plowman. Sending up ice Norkovic. Puts one on net. Glove stop Fulton. He will elect to hold on. 4:16 to go.
As here comes the first line, 4:16, as you said. First line jumping on for the Colonials. As it's crunch time now, as they need two quick ones. They also need one to take this before overtime.
Yep.
Because you want as many points as possible.
You wonder how quick this line's out here, too. Because also you wonder, you said you wouldn't pull the goalie. Coach Riffner does. This is the unit you want on the ice.
That's true.
We'll see how aggressive RMU wants to be with this 2-goal deficit. Vandekovic, shot blocked away. In front for Blevins, bouncing puck, stripped away from him. An effort to keep it alive. Hand pass called on Patneski.
Able to get up pretty high, though, to keep that puck in, just unable to get connection for himself.
Face off to the outside of the zone. Vandekovic against Rice. Vandekovic wins it back. Long for Blevins, bouncing puck, no ice. Barberi around the boards. Kloss digging. Looks for Blevins, broken up, and sent to center off the stick of Zito. Kloss playing it back, will pick it up now off the give. 4-4, Blevins. Looks to go through the middle. Drop past Vandekovic, puts it on, glove stop Page. 3:19 to go.
Trying to find Kloss on the back door, and if he finds him, that's a put in easily. But able to come out as Page as we're down to 319, as you said. And just like that, second line coming out for the Colonials.
Chirilli with Jones. The switch up the D, so Killen seemingly getting his night's over, simply put, I believe. Face off, it's one too far back. Jones turns it over. Kazarowski coming in. Looks to dangle through, poked off by Crivelli. Off the sudden, that Michigan attempt goes high and wide. LaQuattro. Try to get into some space. Kazarowski gets it back. Rules for the stick up high. Could not settle. And played back in by Replicable. 2:45 to go for the stretch pass. LaQuattro. Up ice holding. Puts it on. Stick save made by Page. Newton puts one off the post. Pops out. LaQuattro shot blocked LA by UPJ. Chase Howe getting down. Jones. Down low Chirilli. Looking for some deflection. Does not have one. This will exit the zone 218. Jones, LaQuattro, they'll enter. On net, stuck away. Up ice is Della. Battles with Newton. Della continuing in, puts it on. Glove stop Fulton. He'll hold on with 2 minutes to go.
Looks like they are going to put the third line back out. I was wrong on that assumption. And with that, I do not think Fulton's going to be pulled at all now.
I'm starting to agree with you, I think.
I had my reasons, and I think they're being confirmed here.
Quick goal changes everything. Norkovics plays it up ice. For Morano. Drop past Norkovics. Plays it behind the net. Rose picks it up for RMU. Puts it towards center. Daniels whacks at it. Will play it into the zone. Kasivi racing. Miller behind the net. Looks to clear. Had a first attempt denied. Second one will go. Quickly thrown in by Long. Crosses Page to make the save. Van Dekovic with the hit. Looking for somebody. No one there. Here comes Miller. Miller up ice holding. Goes across for Morano. Turning with it. Takes it into the corner. Caught up with Long. UPJ just trying to chew the clock here. 1 minute to go. Shot by Miller. Sails wide. Behind the net, Rice. Blocked away by Kloss. Forward here for Blevins. He'll dance around one. To the outside, puts it on, glove stop Page. 45 seconds.
Quick whistle there as well. As soon as he makes that save, it's almost like the whistle was blown right away.
Timeout, RMU.
Timeout, RMU. And I believe Fulton is going to go. He was looking like he was going to make his way anyway. I guess I've explained my reasoning as to why I think they shouldn't pull Fulton.
Okay.
And this may be because I've been looking at the D4 playoff schedule so much and seeing how tight that is. But how tight this could be, this could come down to a tie and then goal differential. You don't want to take a 3-point loss as opposed to a 2-point loss here in goal differential. If things end up tied, that could ruin your season for seeding in the playoffs.
It's a smart understanding here, I think. I mean, you got to play the goal differential game. You just kind of have to. And with 45 seconds, it's enough for UPJ to go down and put one in the empty cage, of course.
Yeah.
But more than likely, I think UPJ is going to try to eat. I think, or just die.
You never know.
If it goes in, it goes in. But once again, that's, open space, carry up ice. You're going to take the empty net.
I mean, it could be completely different.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of, D4 playoffs. There's a chance that the top 3 teams all finish 6-3, and it all comes down to a goal differential difference.
And this could be the same thing in D3. He said these guys are neck and neck right now. UPJ is the edge in the goal differentials already. But 45 seconds. Van Dekovic off the draw, Blevins. Backhand, pad stop. Off the back of the netting, loose. They'll play it around. Down comes Chirilli racing. Up high Levin shot through traffic, rebound, padding away as Page pops out in the blue paint as Kloss gets lit up, penalty coming up. So a 6-on-4 for 28 seconds.
Kloss able to get up on his own.
So Zach Zito really laid the beating in front of Kloss in front of that net.
Yeah, he did. Definitely gave it a cross check. Don't think that was the right call. Maybe a charge.
They'll move Patneski in motion to the outside. He'll be one of the net front guys. Bendekovic on the draw against Della. One, Blevins holding on to it. Off for Della, he'll clear as he'll get tied up with Bendekovic. And now 17 seconds, RMU has to hurry. Shirilli up for Blevins. Blevins with speed coming in, dangles to the outside, looks to put it on denied. Into the corner, 5 seconds. Patneski across, no one home, that'll do it. As then Blevins gets taken down by Solignione and will look to meet up. Miller jawing, as well as Della, with the extracurriculars boiling over. But the Ice Cats take full possession of second with 2 goals in the third, a power play goal from Will Miller, and then the capitalizer by Zach Zito. We'll keep an eye on the handshake line. With these two teams obviously have some history. But RMU will fall in this one. They'll head to IUP tomorrow. UPJ, I believe this was their lone game of the weekend. But as these two teams will meet in a couple of weeks to do it all again at UPJ's barn.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one for sure.
The handshake line complete, all good in that regard, but will it boil over the next time these two meet?
Probably.
Yeah. Of course, that's not our jurisdiction.
That's not, we're not going to be there.
No, unless they want us to.
Nah, I won't be there.
No. I don't think UPJ is doing broadcast unless Mr. Todd Kazarowski has plans for that one.
I
don't know. But final here, UPJ 5, RMU 3. As we said earlier in the third, RMU D4 hosts Cleveland State, possibly at 3:45 tomorrow, and then the D1 Colonials play host to John Carroll at 8:30. RMU D1 also fell to IUP 7-3. D2 Colonials travel up to another Mercier showcase for the Saturday and Sunday slate. And I think I have every team covered.
I think so.
It should be everything.
Yeah.
But thank you all for joining us tonight. From Andrew Keel, I'm Caden McCrory. UPJ wins the battle of second place 5-3 over the RMU Colonials. We will see you tomorrow at 3:45 for D4.